Hello, I'm glad that you have chosen to be a part of Grimmett Coaching. Many people have asked us time and time again, hey, would you give us something to get us started and get us motivated and get us a little bit knowledgeable about what is going to happen during Grimmett Coaching and what can we expect to receive from you? Well, the main thing that we do is help people live an amazing life. And you might ask, well, what is an amazing life? We have 7 steps to an amazing life that we help people walk through to help them live a life that is full of excitement, things that they could do, things that they would begin to take control of their life. The first step is asking, do you want a default life or do you want a life that you plan out and you put in place? The second thing that we find out is, do you want to be submissive to a God, a sovereign God that put the universe all together, has everything flowing, the sun goes up, the moon comes out, someone who has been in place for eons? Will you subject yourself to him? The next thing we find out is money. You have to be able to manage money. Will you let money manage you, or will you be in charge of money? The next aspect of that is determining what type of life would you enjoy. Do you want life thrown at you or not? How do you take control of the time? We find that people are searching and running and trying to get time under control. And then the next aspect of that is, once you determine what type of lifestyle and what you want it to look like and what relationships you want and your family dynamics, you have to figure out how to fund that. So we create a business plan that you can run remotely from any part of the world as long as you have internet access. And it's automated and duplicatable in a situation where you can put others in charge, where you are the one that overviews and sees what happens to it, but you're in control. The next thing is the life purpose. We find that when people have money coming in, that expenses aren't a concern anymore, and that time is freed up, they often wonder, what have I been put on earth to do? Who am I going to impact? What benefits can I affect? And then the final thing is a kingdom mission. What is it that God has ordained for you to do that only you can do, and that you can do it well and better than anyone else? And you affect the kingdom around you, and you begin to overcome the darkness. Those are how do you live an amazing life. And what we find out is there are characteristics of people who excel and do well with Grimmett Coaching. They generally share our morals and values. They have a Christian worldview and outlook on life. They put family first. They are constantly seeking to do something and make something greater than themselves, but yet they haven't found out how to do that exactly. They need some mentorship. They need a coach. They need someone to hold them accountable, someone to help them put a plan together, an idea, and a way to accomplish things that they haven't already accomplished yet in life. They know that it's within them, but they just don't know how to unlock it. And with Grimmett Coaching, that's what we help you do, is to find the blind side of your life, the pieces that haven't been put together yet, that you know are inside you, but you have to see come out. And that is some of the things that we do through some different techniques that we offer, is how to draw that out of you. Some of the best parts that happen is at our semi-annual retreats. At our retreats, we get together with the coaching students, and we keep a small coaching family here. Usually 16 to 18 people is all that we'll take on, so that we can provide the intimate service that you need. I don't coach like other people, real huge groups, and you touch every now and then and you see every now and then. No, we're more of a family where we help grow one another. We're accountable to one another. We see the success that is motivated through that. We have a fall retreat and a spring retreat. They're about 6 months apart. And we get away for 2.5 days where we pick apart your business idea or your problems or life's that you issues that you may be encountering, and then how do you successfully navigate that? And then we put together a 6-month plan, a strategic plan of how you can overcome some of the problems that you're running into, things that are defeating you in and day out activities, family dynamics. How do you manage time until you get to that sweet point where you're living the amazing life? So we give you those pointers, and then we hold you accountable during the 6 months as you begin to see those steps become reality. We do 60-day blasts, where for 60 days we plan out what are those goals that you're trying to accomplish, and then help you succeed in those. And then all the time we have a 1-month group call where we help one another and see what you're succeeding in and not succeeding in. And then I do a group call once a month, a 30-minute call that you're entitled to, where we fine-tune that, and it's specific only to you, and we help give you pointers in how you can be successful. So that's what we offer in Amazing Life Coaching through Grimmett Coaching. One of the subsets of that is headache-free properties. In that is where we take a look at money where it is generated in a buy and hold situation where you're accumulating rental properties, or you are flipping properties for lump sums of cash. Those are the two areas and aspects that we deal with in that money generating idea of headache-free properties. Now that carries a lot of steps, and how do we do that, and how do we specifically get started with people? Well, one thing we do is that we have an introductory session where I sit down and talk with the husband and wife, if you're married, because I find that you have to have total agreement with the husband and wife before you begin, even if only one of them is going to participate in the business structure in the beginning. Trust me, I've done this and had a headache and a world of problems when I wasn't in agreement with my wife. Just for an example, the very first time that I had a business idea, I came in and I told it to Nancy, and she immediately burst into tears. And I thought that had surely meant it was yes, and I should go forward. So I spent the $5,000 and I went to this course on how to buy notes, and really all I got out of that was how to functionally use my financial calculator. Now, over years and times, and there's many stories I won't go into, but I learned to recognize that when she cried that first time, that wasn't tears of excitement. That was a no. And so from then on, I bring in husband and wife so that we're on agreement. We're on from page and day one on the same page, understanding what we're going to do as a business, what I'm going to offer, what you're going to offer, and what commitments that you're going to bring to the table that we can work together through and have an amazing life developed in your family. Now, the initial consultation will talk about what I'm going to provide, what the costs are of the program, how the program works, and what you can expect to see as we walk down this road together. Now, some of the first things that we're going to have to talk about is a proper mindset. What is the mindset that a successful people in amazing life look for? Well, one of those in the proper mindset is there's three major components to the amazing life. One is to be debt-free, live debt-free, and take on minimal debt, meaning that we don't subscribe to 30-year mortgages, 15-year mortgages. We try to do it in 7 years or less. If we can purchase a property that meets that criteria, we know that it's going to take time. We understand it's not a get-rich-quick scheme in what we're trying to do, but it shouldn't take all lifetime either. 7 years we find is a good balance in what it takes to evaluate a property to see if it's going to be paid off and producing as a cash cow. I've always been a cheap person. Anyone that knows me knows that I'm cheap. I like to call the word thrifty. But we buy a property that can pay off or be paid off quickly, but continue to generate cash over and over and over. And a philosophy that we take also is that we put that property under management by a property manager. We don't try to control it ourselves. Most people I find aren't good property managers. They aren't landlords. They want to live life. And from day one, I help people understand you do not want to have that. That's the best 10% you can buy for peace of mind that money can buy. Let someone else handle the headaches. That's why we call our product headache-free properties. Trust me, I've had the headaches before. I had a property management company. I gave it away. It was so much trouble. Don't begin down the road with the trouble. Give that headache to someone else. So as we begin to generate passive income, our whole goal is to have passive income equal or exceed our expenses. When that happens, you have freedom. You automatically have freedom. Think about it. If you had income generated each and every month that exceeded your current expenses, what would you do? You have just found your life. You've just gained life. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, I want a lifestyle change. Well, you can do a lifestyle change, but that's going to be the next part that we go into when you begin to buy businesses and your cash generates more cash. But wait with me. Don't get ahead. Beyond that, step number 2, the major thing that we help do is develop those blind side ideas and excitement where you understand what is it that's been holding you back, whether it's spiritual bondage or emotional bondage, relationship bondage, social bondage, financial bondage, whatever it is that's holding you back, that's keeping you from being all that you were designed and created to be, we help you discover those and work through it. I know what you're saying. Yeah, that's the hard stuff. That's the stuff you don't want to do. I just recently had a student tell me, hey, I don't want to go to the retreat because that's where you're going to push me and mold me and have me do those things that I don't want to do. That would take a lifetime to change. Well, we don't want it to take a lifetime to change. We want it to take maybe 2-3 years for you to work through those things that are holding you back. Do you want to live life and get to the end of life where you realize, and trust me, I visit many people in a nursing home. I'm an ordained pastor. And there's times that when you meet people in a nursing home, you usually find of 3 different mindsets. One is they're angry at the world. They're mad, frustrated. Why did life do this? Why did it turn out this way? The other, or people who are well adjusted, they're happy. And then there's people who just don't even know that they're there. One of those three, you may end up. And I'm suggesting that you don't take option number one, where you're angry and frustrated in what you woulda, coulda, should have done when the options were yours. And you are the one that determined the choices that you have. We help you make those good decisions. And number three, the third major aspect that we want you to do is live an abundant and prosperous and purposeful life, obedient to the one who created you and overcoming the darkness of the kingdom. If we generate a tremendous amount of income through this and we become what's called reverse tithers, where we live on 10% of our income and that we're able to give away 90%, or we impact the world around us with 90% of our income, think about the things that we could do. Think about the things that could be impacted. Think about all of the world's problems that we could begin to impact and change if a body of people with the right purpose and the right direction began to impact the world around us. Proper mindset has to do with creating a life and a vision that you can see but may not be living right now, and then acquiring the steps to get there. We talked about it before. Time, controlling your time. That is important. That's key to us at Amazing Life. Now, the proper mindset that we hope to institute is living this in and out every day. It's not just 2 times a week that we are focused in what we should be doing and how purposeful our life should be, but every day creating the habits that we live by. So it's a proper mindset that we have that fosters a team and a family unit that we work and look forward to in working with people here today.